2002 Nissan Pathfinder with the 3.5 engine, crank no start. Crank doesn't start. Customer claimed he parked the car, put the key in there, left the key in, and when he came out, the car didn't want to start. We tested the fuel pump relay, all that stuff. This one has two. I was testing both to see if they got power. They have one right here and one over there. On here's the other one. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Tested the fuel pump, car's getting gas. The customer was cranking it for a while. We even took out the dipstick, smelt oil. You know, they even tried spraying brake cleaner in there. Car didn't want to turn over. So I'll show you a couple of tests I did and how I got to the source of the problem. All right, what I got here is I got my Vantage Ultra scope. I got the low amp probe, and Nissan puts a wire here. Crank it. All right. Nissan puts a wire here where you can scope the coils. So that's what we're testing, is for spark. As you can see, as you saw, there was no spark at all. Let's do it one more time. Do it one more time. Nothing. All right, as you can see right here, we got the coils, ignition coil number 1, number 3, and 5. This is on a wire diagram that I got on O'Reilly. Here's the loop where I put the low amp probe to test to see if we're getting a nice current ramp from these coils. If you don't know what current ramps are, I'll probably post a later video showing you what it is, or after I fix the car, I'll show you. As you can see, we see that there's a wire here, boom, 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 to all these coils. Right there, I already know there's no power. It's either no power or no signal going here. So we're gonna go ahead and use my power probe and see if we got some power going to the ignition coils. That'll be the next step. Okay. All right, so we see right here, it has R for a red wire. This is ignition coil number 1, so I assume right here the red wire supplies the power to the ignition coil. So that's what we're going to test. We're going to put the power probe on there, see if we're getting power. Let me set up my power probe and then we'll get to the test. Here's the plug-in for ignition coil number 1. See the number 1 on there. Well, right now this power probe will tell me if I have ground or power. Right now it says I have ground on the ignition coil plug number 1. I got a back probe. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me get a better shot. Okay, let me get another light in there. I got a back probe right there on the red wire on the ignition coil plug number 1. I'm gonna go turn on the key and see what happens. You should see it should turn red, then we'll know we have a good power. As you can see, we have 9.2 volts it says, but it doesn't say if it's power or ground. So just off the top of knowing my electrical, I know right here I'm not getting no power at all. The power probe tends to not let me down at all. Sometimes it does, but in this case I know for a fact I'm not getting power here. So we're gonna hit the wire diagram again and see what's going on. So we're back to the wire diagram and we're gonna trace this red wire. It says it goes back to A right here. Well, here's A. There's A. And it goes all the way here to ECM relay. So it's possible the relay or a fuse. So get the battery positive. And it goes all the way here to 10 amp fuse to to this ECM relay, and then it sends power all to the ignition coil. So when the key turns on, this relay turns on and provides the power to the coils, and that's probably why we're not getting it started. So because I've already been messing around with this car already, I already know that it's a 10 amp fuse. I'm gonna look at the cap here. Right there, there's the 10 amp fuse. So just by looking at it, here's the 10 amp fuse right here. I'm gonna take this power probe and test it. Okay, well, I got good power here and here. So right there it tells me the fuse isn't burnt. Now let's go to the relay. Now there's a red wire that goes to the ignition coils. Here's the relay right here. I already popped it out through here. There's just a little tab right there. There's a little tab. Let me get a screwdriver so you guys can see. There we go. Little tab. You just pry this back and you push the relay down so you can get it out. So I can do more back probing and testing on this relay. Now, because I already did my research on this car and spent quite a bit of time, I'm gonna take my power probe and test the red wire to see if the relay is working. Okay, well right here I got 9.2. That's not really what I need right there. I need battery positive, 12 volts or 11 volts because this car's been on for a bit. Let me test a few other things. Alright, so I got power here, but I know this wire doesn't go connect here. Power here. I know this wire is not for the relay I need. Well, I would have to go back to the wiring diagram to show you guys. And this one, 9.2. 9.2. So I'm gonna assume this wire goes for here. This wire is supposed to supply this wire. So this wire right here goes to this fuse. So because it goes to the fuse, I already tested the fuse. I got good power at the fuse. Upon further inspection, I pulled out this wire and found the corroded broken wire right here. And this wire is supposed to supply power to the coils. And it was connected to this fuse. So let me fix this up and then we'll see if that fixes the problem. Alright, so what I did was I connected direct power right here to this one. This is just temporary to see if that's the reason why it's not working. I put a 10 amp fuse so we don't fry any of the circuits here. And it's connected to this wire right here that supplies power to the relay. So now I'm gonna connect the battery.
Let's put this on real quick. Right here. Let me just tie this sucker up. Boom, the sucker's all tied up. This one's tied too. Can disconnect that, don't need it no more. You should always take out your tools. Don't want anything to fall down. And I'm gonna get this thing to start. Hopefully the battery holds up. Oh.
Forgot to connect ignition coil number 1. This car hasn't been started, you know, it might be flooded as well. You know, previous owner was cranking. Alright, coils all connected. Let's see if we can get it. Alright, let's see what we get. That seems to fix the problem. I got it running. Probably just have it run, but I'm gonna let it go. We do have a check engine light. We'll check that out. But the main problem we were here is we couldn't get the car started. Idle's a little high right now. But yeah, that seemed to fix the problem.